So in this lesson, we'll be adding the styles from our static site into our WordPress page. So I'm just checking out our website right now, closing the files that we don't need. And let's start by copying all the static site CSS. So that's in the style.css folder. Sorry, not folder, but file. And paste it into our WordPress user styles. So that's the mystyle.css. And then let's save that and check out the results. So our WordPress site is now beautiful. So that's pretty much all of the styling that we need for WordPress. But of course, there's always our the issues like the header right there. So let's fix those issues. As for our header, we will target it correctly. So next we'll be fixing most of our blog elements which are not targeted correctly. Here you go. So in our static site, we're using the main content class, while this class doesn't exist in WordPress. So let me show you what I mean. When I inspect element right here, so in our WordPress page, if you do that as well, it's not here, since WordPress is using ID main. So unlike the static site that we had right there, so its post has the class post. Okay, so take note of that. Inspecting the static site as well, to compare, just to compare the difference and to know what we'll need to update or what's missing to complete all these CSS. So checking it out right here. So let's replace our class main content class post to ID main tag article. Okay, so that's over here, the main content post. So we're going to replace that with main article. And we're also going to replace the main content to content. So it doesn't have much noticeable changes, as you can see right here. Okay, and next is our blog header. We'll remove its border and padding. So what we're going to do is go back to the mystyle.css, put page header, set the border to none, and set the padding to 0. Alright, so as well as the article padding as well. Just went ahead and removed that. Okay, so checking it out, checking the blog page, seeing everything looks good. So next is the paragraph lead. We don't have that in our design, if you remember. So inspecting its element, putting lead and then font style to 15 pixels. Okay. Checking out how it looks. So let's change the font size, actually, not font style. Sorry about that. Okay, clicking the blog post. So seeing, now we're checking out the blog single page or the blog post page. Okay. Going back to the text editor, next is our single post. Again, it's targeting a class that does not exist, so we'll replace that with the correct class or ID, and which will fix our single post paragraph font size. Okay, we're replacing it right now, as you can see. Remove the content and just put dot single main. Okay, reviewing the blog single page. Now head back to home, and next would be our footer. As you see, it has a gray background instead of white that we want. So again, let's fix the element targeting. Search up footer and change that into site dash footer and then home footer. Change that as well. So let's check it out, reload, and there you go. So let's go back to the blog page. So next, the large white space above. This is actually caused by WP Bootstrap style. Okay, so we're just gonna put padding top into 0 under the body, reload, and there you go, it's back up on top. The nav bar is perfect. And while we're here, let's fix our blog title for it was not targeted correctly. Okay, adding the A's between the headers. Something changed over here in the page title. So next would be the sidebar elements. So I'm just gonna inspect that real quick and check out the different codes for the sidebar widget. So I searched up widget and then I went into the widget box, and I'm gonna replace it with just widget. I'm inspecting it again. And I just went ahead and removed the widget searched. Okay, update that as well. So I'm reloading and seeing the changes, but we still need to continue to modify this to perfection. Okay, that changed right there. Let's inspect the button for the search icon or the search button. Search bar. So it's this one right here. Just remove that widget search group or form group, and it's looking good. So next would be the recent post. So change that to widget title. So go back to the portfolio page and we'll fix most of our portfolio elements that are working great right there with the mix it up. So we're going to search up portfolio items. Okay. Just adding the btn or button. Seeing the changes in the portfolio filter buttons already. So I made it into transparent so it looks better. There you go. Now we're putting the nav pills. I hope you remember that in our previous lesson on what that is all about. So setting the background color and the box shadow to none. Okay, this is for the active state on which button or filter we're clicking at. So the single portfolio page as well, we'll need to make a couple of or a few modifications. So inspect element, check this out. All right, looking good. Let's see what we need to change. Copy that over here. Okay. So make sure you just follow along with the coding in the video. So once again, if it's too fast, just pause it, rewind it, and I'm sure you'll do fine. So one thing I've noticed is the contact form button and alignment. This is due to improper markup. So let's go ahead and fix that in our contact form 7 plugin. So go back to contact forms and click the contact form main. So let's check out add this class button and button primary and add a div class of row. Add this as well for spacing. Okay, so let's check out if there was any changes. Okay, looks good. Inspect the send button and seeing what else we need to update. I'm gonna generate a tag for the submit button, so it's gonna label it as send message. I'm just gonna paste that right here, save, and let's see. Alright, so that fixes it. Looking good, looking good. Alright, so now that we're done correcting our CSS, we will now work on our comment form. This is currently our comment form. It's pretty basic. So we will replace that with the discuss comment system. So let's download their plugin. Discuss or discuss. Not quite sure what the right pronunciation is, but I've heard people saying discuss, so I'm just gonna go with the flow on that one. So it's discuss comment system, as you see right there. Install the plugin and activate. There you go. So it's just loading a bit. Okay, so plugin activated. Now we go back to settings and go to well, actually let's go inside our plugin and fill some details in. So there you go. We're just gonna upgrade, and you can create a free account if you don't have one. I already have mine, so I'll use that, my username and the password. Okay, go forward, and we're gonna select a website that we want to install this plugin for. So it's now set up correctly, so let's check it out in action. If you go into the blog page and the blog single, it should now have replaced the default comment form into discuss right there. So that looks good. Okay, so to wrap up this section in converting WordPress, we will review what we made. So starting at the front page, we learned how to work with the dynamic header with the use of condition statements, how we displayed the hero in the front page only, and how we added the dynamic latest work section, and how we worked on our dynamic footer as well. So we also learned how to create page templates as well as creating the dynamic page title. So in our portfolio, we learned how to display posts from a specific category and how the filter system, is using a jQuery plugin, and learned how to create a post template using a neat and cool plugin that we saw in a previous lesson. So going to the blog page, going to the blog single page, we also learned how to work with the discuss comment system. So on the contact form page, we learned how to create our static sidebar and create our contact form using the contact form 7 plugin. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on converting static sites into WordPress. Great job, guys.